write down some things that we see that we think are the biggest heavy hitters, fix those, polish a couple things. So I mean, obviously there's a couple things that we can probably think about. So like face expression poses, we can do hand poses, which we haven't done. Stretch, squash on the spine, pass on hair, pass on head. And also, actually, it's interesting, I don't normally write this stuff down. I usually just do it in my head. So this is actually a very different exercise for me, writing this stuff down. Actually, I think this is probably a much better organized way of doing it. Okay, so this is just a rough list. I think this is pretty decent. At least for now, those are the things that stand out to me a little bit. The first thing that I noticed here is I want to fix the arms, because the arms right now, they have this one passing pose, but they kind of break out of it pretty easily. So we're going to delay. Okay, so right now we're trying to get this so that the transition into this pose here on the arm. So right now she does this jump. Okay, so this is one of those things in 2D versus 3D that I think is a little bit interesting, that in 2D, or I should say in 3D, when you're doing things with overlap, a lot of times you do a lot of systems where you need something to drag a lot. And so if you do something like this, you kind of want her arms to be back here, I guess, if they're extending straight. But I'm trying to do something where she cups in like this with her arms, kind of like elbows first. So if anything, then maybe I need to reverse it. So instead of going like this, or scoop forward, they need to go backwards. So when they come up, extension, we keep these straight. So what we'll do is we will between them here, we'll straighten the arms. So we will graphically go into straight into Why is it that in some frames there's not like the full red line of the keyframes? Do you mean like here? This is full and this is not? That's only because of the fact that it's on. You just see how these frames have lines on them? It's just a rendering bug. So pixel wise, this is just overlapping and this one's not. They're all, basically whenever you see a red tick, it's just keyframes. Maybe for simplicity's sake, we'll do something. You know what? I might do something a little different here. I might just make it straight. For the heck of it, let's just make it more graphic. Arms out. Okay. So that is a little bit cleaner, even though it's less, it's a bit more neutral, but I feel like for the sake of this, it's fine. So we're actually going to be doing something interesting here where I think I've actually retimed everything so it gets all funked. I'm going to actually delete a lot of this. So we're going to delete here. Go straight into this pose. Delete. And then we're going to retime it so it goes boom, boom. Okay. Okay. There's some feet stuff that we'll fix here. Given that we have like an hour and a half left, I think I'm probably gonna do stuff, a little bit of extra hat stuff. I need to do a pass on the hair because that has not been touched yet. I'm gonna fix a little bit of the feet here because right now it feels really, really even, just to get more specificity. And then maybe like a slight expression expression pass. And then if we have any extra time, we'll just do a lot of other stuff. I don't think I have enough time to really do any of the hand stuff on the hat, so we're just gonna have to find a pose that just like fakes that is like holding it, because right now I don't have time to actually solve that. Cool. So there's also one thing we're gonna try to do here where she's stepping in the air, but we want to give the impression where she's sort of walking on air, but not too much, because like we want her to bicycle bicycle's not a word, bicycle through the air, so it looks like she's like trying to like float a little bit more, but not exactly. Like right here it almost looks like she's stepping on something, because like the translate on it is like it's almost stuck, it's almost like pinned. But we're gonna have to layer in just a tad bit of like, just a tad bit of give, slide, so that is not 100% pinned. And then maybe here it's like when she comes down, it also goes down a bit. And then we need it to extend. Okay. So right now what I'm looking at is I'm tracking the feet. I'm trying to edit the feet here on the pass so that like kick, 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 run, run, run. But there's a situation here where you see that everything starts running this way really fast. I kind of want everything to be open here, but then also delay. Because you want the root to go first, right? It feels more natural if the root leads to motion. So I will then offset this to feel like it's falling instead. But we don't want it to drag like that. We want it to track on the same point. Pull her. Yep, see? It has a little bit more stick to it. Stick here. And then it goes around. Okay, I might actually do something here where I'm going to take her root and legs and translate them over left a little bit more. Because I want to I'm tracking the head right here. Starts here. As you do this, it leans over very fast. I would actually prefer question is how far back do I pull her? Just here. And here. So tilt, tilt. Tilt, tilt. pull, tilt, tilt, undo, tilt, 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 pull up, track the head. Okay. Okay, that feels a little bit better. There. So now the hat is in its own space from 106 to 125. So we're gonna just keep it in the air and then let it float down. Okay, I think for the sake of this script, we're going to need to use that IK. I can't figure out the logic for this right now. Hat pass, yes. Hat pass, Sebs, is part of what we're doing. We're just polishing everything. Whether or not I'm actually gonna hit everything, who freaking knows. We're just trying to. We're just gonna try our best. Guys, polish takes forever. Holy shit. I was gonna say that I need one more week on this, but I think we're gonna 100% finish on this one. Okay, we have 30 minutes. We're just gonna freaking do a hair pass. Let's do a hair pass, and then anything small we can figure out later. So many hair controls. Okay. That's not bad. Or cleanup. Slight cleanup pass on that one on the beginning part. I'll probably S-curve this a little bit more. Okay. Hair on that one is good. Hair here we can clean up. Cool. Hair pass, hand pass, face pass, and then like we'll just be done with it. Because I think everything else has some representation. The only thing that really bothers me is really like the hands not holding the hat. But honestly, you know, some things you can't touch. Also, I'd rather take learnings from this, move on to the next one next week, and just like tackle it with fresh eyes. And plan it a little bit better, hopefully. I think once we do the hair a little bit, because the hair in the beginning is pretty nice. This is nice. The hair in the back is nice. Then we need the second half. Cool. Okay, so right now I am just going to tween into this last pose with an overshoot and then a settle. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that the top part of the head and the hair go in first. So for example, right here, when we're tweening this into this, we will do it generally like that. But then we want the hair at the bottom to delay. So we keep it on that side as much as possible. From the front, it's not that bad. Cool. Not bad. Okay, so then we need to figure out this part. That's clipping, so we'll bring the arm forward. Well, actually, I also want to do a little bit of a overshoot on this. So we go into RX. Our arm comes down. Ah, but the skirt. Ah, there's too much shit to do. Oh my god. Okay, hair is done. Let's do a hand pass or eye pass, face pass. Which one are we doing? Oh my god, it's gonna take another like hour or two. Oh, pain. Everyone, this epitomizes this exact feeling right now, as we all know. I'm not even going to like bother with the coat sleeves. We're gonna do hair, we're gonna do eyes, and then a little bit of the hands, and then maybe do the skirt. Maybe do like the tassel skirt. Just to avoid clipping. I am not doing secondary on that for now. Like, this is where, if I were at work, I would be like, it's 7 o'clock. Wait, what time is it? It's almost 7. I'm going to take a break, do a little bit more, and then come back tomorrow and do all that shit. Oh man. Guys, never animate on stream. Animating on stream is stressful and a nightmare. I think I just went through like a whole hour of like no talking. Though I guess that's what animation is like anyway. Oh my god, I didn't do the shawl. We got rid of the shawl. Shit, you're right. Jesus. Honestly, I think if we did a little bit of the skirt, she has controls for the skirts, right? I'm gonna give myself like another 2 hours to just wrap this up, and I'm gonna finish it and then like move on. As long as we've touched everything, then stream. Then we can. All right, guys, give me a second. I'm going to run to the kitchen. I'm gonna microwave something, and I'll. Okay, I think we're gonna do the face. Let's do something fancy here. I see a lot of people do this, which actually is really. I think it's really smart. We are going to do a split layout. We are going to create a new camera. Create new camera. We are going to take the camera, parent it to the head, hit P. You're then going to zero the camera out, bring it up, pull it back from the front of the face, and now we're going to switch the camera face to base. And then we need to change the attribute editor to have no clipping plane. Low. Okay, to be frank, this is a lot slower. Holy crap, why does she have so many controls? And blinks, let's just animate a blink quickly. So the easiest way that I have learned, do a blink. Let's quickly go over that. We're gonna delete all these keys. Simplest thing is to go to what we do here is you do key. And I'm gonna do a 1:3 ratio, 1:2 ratio for now. You can always retime it. And then in this middle part, we're going to find where her decent looking eyes are going to close. And although I want to do something more specific, I think for now, again, we're just optimizing for our time right now, so I think this is how far we're gonna go. Perfect. All right. So for blinks, or at least a normal one, what we're gonna do is like this. So if you play it, blink, it's a very soft one, right? And the way that blinks work is that they basically stay open the entire time and then close really fast for like 1 or 2 frames and then come up. This is the most standard blink, just like a normal blink. There's obviously the eye close or the flicker or the half close. But if we just take this eye close right here, what we're gonna do is in between the first frame and the first key and the second key is we're going to favor the top side. Okay. I'm going to switch this to be graph editor. So here you'll see I'm just tweening to this left side so that it's favoring. So you'll see that, for example, over a couple of frames it slowly starts to close, and then over like 2 frames it closes. Let's key right after. We are going to weight it to the same so it stays closed. Then we key after, and then we're going to favor the last key. So basically they always favor the open point. And just by doing that by default, you've already got a pretty decent one. To me, this is a little bit slow, so we're actually going to remove this transition part, shrink them together. And it's interesting because what happens if you think about blinking is to do the actual blink fires really, really fast, but then the delay after where it needs to go back to rest is actually a lot longer. So to make it feel natural, if you want, we will extend this last one, but we want to do a very, very long, very, 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 very long ease in. So something like that. Perfect. Now I think we could do something here where this one closed frame has a little bit of squash, or at least a little bit of change so that it's not stuck. So if there's a way to compress, we can, but otherwise I'm just gonna lower them like this. And then the last piece is to add a flavor of this up and down. Oh, wow. It's actually really nice that it's automatically already like, it's got stuff on it. Because normally in a lot of cases when you move the eyeballs, the rest of the eyelids don't follow, but it seems like it's cool. So for me, that's like the most basic one. This is like the most basic, really easy, just blah, blah, blah. So in League, if you ever see me animate a blink, it's basically like this. If I can actually control the eyes, this is usually how I do it. Then you can flavor in a lot of extra things. So for example, right now, when you blink, you definitely want the top of these things to come down too. So, because the eyebrows are always connected, I don't think I can squash them though. Yay! She blinks. Alright. So at least for this, we can take this as a blink key. And now I feel like we can layer that into wherever we want. Excuse me, sorry. Apologies for slurping. Wow, she's so cute. Okay, so we're gonna steal this closed pose here. Actually, no. Okay. We're just gonna copy this whole thing and we're gonna paste it at the front so she blinks in the beginning once. But then here, she is already coming down. And I'm going to extend this frame. So she closes here and then begins to open them. Because she needs to look here. Do I ever participate in the monthly ending challenges? I do not. Those take a lot of time and they're very hard. They're actually very, very hard. I usually don't have that much time to animate outside of work. Even doing this for stream 3 hours a week on Sundays. It takes so much energy. My goodness. Crazy. Honestly, I have no idea how people do it. It's pretty insane. Would you ever consider moving from game animation to feature? Oh, that's an interesting question. Honestly, actually, my first dream was to actually work in feature. So Pixar, Disney, all that stuff. I'm pretty sure most of us are like that. I don't know. I've always wished I could work on a movie, but at the same time, I don't really like what I do. I really like what I do. So I can't complain too much, I think. I can probably go into a long discussion about this, but there's always like benefits and good things and bad things, right? I've heard a lot of interesting things about, you know, working in games, working in film, working in animation. Certain things are good, certain things are bad. As an animator, they always do really nice work. It's really, really high quality, emotional. Just you know, you won't get that kind of quality anywhere else, really. But at the same time, their work style is very different from games. You work on a movie, you work on it for like years, and you work on like a specific shot to death just to make sure it's perfect, in the sense that like in the emotional context that it comes in, the scenes leading up to it, the scenes leading after, the director gets to see it all the time. The way that I work at work right now for League and for Riot is actually quite flexible and quite open-ended a lot of times. I end up being my own director sometimes about what I do, what I work. People will look at my stuff and then ask me if I've thought about certain things, but in general, I'm not my own boss per se, but I have a lot of ownership over what I do. So there's a little bit more freedom in that kind of aspect. As well as like, I've never really been into dialogue shots. So in feature film, there's be a lot of dialogue shots. Granted, I'm not very good at them. I haven't really done very many of them either. So I can't say, you know, I can't harp on it, because those are probably where the meaty stuff of acting comes from. But you know, some people have different things that they like animating. Some people like animating runs. Some people like animating people hitting things, right? Fighting stuff. So everyone has their different mileage. But I have thought about it, but no current real thoughts about it. Yeah, in terms of career development, do I want to go somewhere else? I've thought, you know, Nintendo would be pretty cool, but I think most of Nintendo's development is definitely in Japan. At least game development wise, most of that stuff is in Japan, and I don't speak Japanese. But if we're talking about like a different game studio, yeah, if there's another game studio that I'm really interested in that like offers me a spot, and I'm ready to move, and they offer more money, then sure. Otherwise, I'm actually pretty happy at Riot, and Riot has a lot of opportunities inside, internally, that I'm excited about. So we'll see how that all pans out. Not sure. It's always a good question. It's like, when you're at a place and you really like it, how long do you stay? Or should you stay for very long? I don't know. It's always the next question after you get it. I've been thinking about it for a while. I don't know what my answer is yet. Okay, guys, we're gonna be doing hand pass, skirt pass, and we're done. We have 1 hour left. Let's go. Hand pass. Hand. Joshua asks, sorry to keep asking questions, but what do you think is the best way to practice and improve camera animation for fight action sequences? Any good resources or references you would suggest using? I don't have resources necessarily. I've been studying a lot of Sakuga on sakugaboru.com, or whatever the link is. Sakugaboru. Yeah, sakugaboru.com. It's just a lot of anime stuff. The only problem with using that as a way of learning is that 3D versus 2D is very, 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 very different in terms of its application. It's kind of like Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse gets a little bit of this pretty well, which is like the 2D frame rate, the lower frame rate on characters versus the very smooth frame rate on backgrounds. That is something that's very, very iconic in anime fighting scene stuff, but that's also because the background and the character animation are done separately. So in terms of camera work, I don't have any resources on that because I didn't study that kind of stuff. Online, there are just things for different kinds of camera techniques. In terms of how it works for fighting sequences, I think the only thing that I can recommend thinking about is just really understanding what is the point that you're trying to show. So what is the intention behind the camera? Are you trying to evoke the sense of like, I'm part of the fight, you're watching the fight, do you need lots of cuts for like to frame the specific action? That kind of stuff is pretty important. Having a plan going in is really important. In terms of like what kinds of shots you need for camera work, I don't really know. Because again, my background for League is literally just in-game camera angle, top down, very far away, third, 3/4 perspective. Like that's not helpful for camera stuff. But oh my god, it looks like she grabs it. Wow! All of this pain. All right. I think that's basically all the hand poses I want to do for now. It could be a little bit more specific, I think, in some cases. Actually, let's just do one right here, just because this is a nice one. And then we'll do skirt pass, and I think we're done. I'm just gonna call it after that. Okay, skirt, and then maybe we can do a little bit of camera. I think we have maybe a little bit of time. Okay, let's do skirt. Skirt. We're almost there. Holy shit. Okay, I think we're done. Oh my lord. Alright, I'm calling it. There was probably a little bit of here and there that's not perfect, but we got through everything. Skirt. Jiggle on the... Oh, now that I'm here, I'm gonna do one more thing. Jesus. We're gonna make this thing wiggle. Okay, we finished it. Ystra polish. 6 hours a day. Wow. That's almost a full day of work. Jesus. Settle at the end, yeah. It's okay. It came out pretty okay. 15 hours of this or something. Yeah. It was what? 3 hours times 3, so 9 plus 6, 15. Yeah. Okay, here we are. The beginning doesn't, this beginning part doesn't read as clear as I would have liked. If I'm being perfectly honest. Like right here, her coming out, it doesn't feel as good. Yeah, like I think I might need her to have I wonder if I add a slight camera motion to it. Boom. Where's my application? Here. Any thoughts? Feedback is welcome. Things that can change, things that can be improved. For now, I think it's we're gonna leave it. I might revisit something in the future, but I think for now I'm gonna call this the end product of the, what was it, Ystra April Animation Jam. Yeah, right. Okay, so Sunny, you're saying, let's see, play black, bookmark tools, annotations. So you're saying right here. Man, now you're making me want to fix it. No, I agree. I think I had the hardest time getting the oh, here. Oh no, there's clipping. Ah, clipping. Okay. This I want to fix. I'm going to. She's gonna do this. We're gonna raise this. Okay. Just a couple small things. We're gonna raise this right here. We're gonna fix that, and then that's fine. And to Sunny's point, there is a little bit of this where I didn't actually do any posing for her hands, so maybe we'll add a couple things here. We'll add like 1 or 2 really quickly. This comes here. This we just avoid clipping. Fix the clipping. And that's it. Then we're done. Oh god, kill me. Okay, we're switching back. Let's go, let's go, let's go. If you have momentum, you gotta do it. Momentum! Clipping hand on hat that frame. Fuck me. So this is a case in point where you will never ever finish anything because there's always going to be something. All right, so I don't really want to cover all the stuff that we could have done because that makes me feel bad. But I'll humor myself. All right, so I didn't get to do too much. Wait, this shape is so bad. This needs to be like this. Oh my lord. Okay, it's fine. Who cares? All right, so it comes in this way. I think I need to do some variation shape here where it's like a little bit more squiddy, like straight, and then it opens. Because right now it's like, it just goes straight across the screen. But I think for now it's okay. Whatever. And then tracking a little bit of this arc here on the hat would be nice. Like getting the shapes to feel really, really good. Right now it's kind of not polished, but then the hat comes up. That's cute. Wow, going so slowly makes it feel so bad, but I guess it's okay. Cool. So there's a couple other things here for like hand poses. Like hand poses right here could be a lot better. Like here, they're just blocks. That's not that appealing. I think if I were to do another polish plus pass, that would do those. Overlap of the fingers. Yeah, no, the camera changes I did here, like, cause it was entered here, right? And then here, it's like that. That's whatever. It's not a big deal. It's okay. Honestly, I'm actually just really happy with a lot of the secondary stuff here, and then the foot. I'm actually pretty happy with the feet that I did, the feet plants. We spent like 2 weeks, I think, doing the feet. It feels nice. Hands here, kind of whatever. Again, I think the tricky thing with fingers is that like there's 5 of them on each hand, right? So you really have to spend a lot of time making those feel really nice. Because when they feel really nice and like intentional, then she feels so much more organic, right? Like right here, even just putting the details of the claws here, of like I'm gonna get ya, is like great. And then some small, slight changes on the expressions. Here, there's a lot of extra stuff that I can get to get silhouette reads, but you know, we have to touch everything here. Hands can probably still do more poses. The hair pass actually turned out okay. I'm not too upset with the hair pass, especially considering that there's no spaces for it. And then I'm pretty happy with the settle that we did. The settle that we did last, when we talked about polish last week, I did a lot of like, okay, this is over this foot. And that's what it feels really nice to me, when you have a good sense of like the motion that you're doing, and then you just layer everything on top. That's what we need. The thing is that a lot of this extra stuff has so much action in it that you need to really slow down and then just add everything into it. But overall, it came out okay. It isn't exactly what I was expecting after the blocking. The blocking had a little bit more personality, I think, like a little bit more spark. But you know, given the time that we had, 15 hours total, not too shabby. But yeah. Did I translate her body? Yeah, you mean right here? This block? Yep. That's actually a very, very important thing for polish that I do for everything. Now, in these things, it's a little bit harder to see. I didn't actually put them in as nicely, but for my settles where I do foot changes, I always do this. I always when you have like a block and you have like the root, middle, and chest, you always take all 3 controls and you squash them like a spring whenever you do steps. That's like important. To me, it's very important. And this is one of the cool things about this one is that you can see how everything just like ties together, right? Like it's very subtle, but it's like she gets up onto one foot and she's doing stuff to get ready. When she puts out her right foot, her foot first, and catches her weight, then everything comes in together. But then also with overlap and stuff. Yeah, the one that was tracked to the face, super easy. We can quickly just look at it. And then I'm gonna wrap up. I wanna like play games with friends before I go to bed. I'm so burnt. Let's see. All right, so the face camera, this one, tracks her face because what we did is we created a camera called Face, and it's parented to her head control. So what you would do in this situation is you would create a new camera. Boom. So we have a new camera right here. And what you do is then you select the control for the face. You parent it. Now the camera is inside the control for the face. You can rename this face 2 or something, face or whatever. Face cam. And then what you want to do, because you notice right here, it's still stuck inside the space. You just zero out all your values, and it'll be in the most zero oriented spot from the face. And then what you'll do then is you'll just reposition it so that it's pointing at her face, and then you'll be able to see her face in that situation. Make sense? It's pretty simple, but in some cases it's very useful. If you don't have a picker, then that's also one way to sort of do that. Yep. The other option also is, for example, she has this thing which some rigs have, which is the macro control. So this thing too, which also controls expressions and stuff, you do the same thing. You can take the camera. You can take the same camera if you want. Face cam. Take it. Select the face cam first. Select the next control. Parent it, and then you'll notice that it is now put into the other control. So this one. And you zero out everything again. And you'll notice that it's parented to this, and you just pull it out, and then it'll be facing it. So if we look at that camera, face cam, it's staring at this thing. So no matter what happens in the animation, you will always have this facing you, and then you can just grab it. And then what you want to do sometimes, if this is, I had 2 windows here, but if you have more room, you can always just tear off a copy of this perspective window and then pull it to another monitor or in a corner of your screen, and then it'll just make it be easier to work. It'll make your workflow a little bit faster. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me and suffering through that. We went 3 hours over schedule, but that's okay. I'm going to try to compile. This one's going to have a lot of like silence, so I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this, whether I should just post the whole thing or if I should just... that's a good question. We'll see. But I will come back next week on Sunday, and I will put onto Discord the new rig and theme that we'll be trying to do for the next month. Hopefully I'll do something a little bit more simple so we can go a little bit deeper into exactly every step as opposed to have to just rush everything. But thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna probably let's see, are my friends still playing TFT? I'm gonna play some TFT. All right, thanks for chilling, guys. Appreciate it. It was fun. It was very fun.